For almost 50 years, one name has pretty much been the gold standard for grit, for determination, and just the heart of a champion, Rocky Balboa. But as we're about to see the lesson we all took from the Italian Stallion, well, it might not be the whole story. You know this quote. This single line, delivered to his son in the movie Rocky Balboa, has become a mantra for millions of people. It's the absolute core philosophy of a character who defined what it means to be resilient. It's powerful, it's inspiring, and for decades, it's kind of been the final word on perseverance. But is it? To really get the power of that quote, you have to understand where Rocky came from. He's the ultimate underdog, a cultural touchstone whose story has resonated for generations. So the first film, it introduces us to Rocky Balboa, right? He's a working-class club fighter from the slums of Philadelphia. He's seen as a bum, a guy with a lot of heart, but not much of a future. Then boom, through a total stroke of luck, he gets this 1 in a million shot against the undisputed heavyweight champion, Apollo Creed. And what's so incredible is how the film's own story is just like its heroes. Rocky was the ultimate underdog movie. It was made on a shoestring budget, just $1 million, and filmed in only 28 days. It was a massive, massive risk. But against all odds, it just exploded into a phenomenon, eventually grossing over $200 million and winning the Oscar for Best Picture. And believe me, that was just the beginning. The entire Rocky franchise has now grossed over $1 billion. It cemented Balboa not just as a movie character, but as a permanent fixture in our culture. He's more than a character, he's a symbol. And the core of that symbol, the lesson that has inspired so many, is what we can basically call the get-hit philosophy. So this philosophy, it teaches us that winning isn't always, about winning. In the first film, Rocky actually loses the fight to Apollo, but it doesn't matter, right? His goal wasn't to win, it was to go the distance, to prove he wasn't just another bum from the neighborhood. The whole idea is that true strength is in your ability to just absorb punishment and keep moving forward. And this message, it has been applied everywhere. We're talking athletes, entrepreneurs, students. Anyone facing a challenge has looked to Rocky as the model for how to succeed. It's like this universal blueprint for just pushing through hardship with pure, unyielding willpower. It's a seriously inspiring message, but is it the right one? Is true resilience really just about taking a beating over and over again? Because there's this really compelling critique of this beloved philosophy, and it comes from a pretty surprising place, one where resilience is literally a matter of life and death. So get this, in an article about rebuilding resilience in the Marine Corps, a retired lieutenant colonel named Mike Vincent argues that what he calls the toxic Rocky Balboa approach is actually a dangerous model. In high-stakes fields like the military, just toughing it out isn't enough. It can actually lead to disaster. He says we need a different skill, and that skill is mental agility. See, it's not about withstanding the hit. It's about being able to think, to adapt, and to change your approach so you don't have to take the hit in the first place. And the difference is pretty stark when you put them side by side. Rocky's philosophy values stubborn endurance, but the critique says this creates a rigid mindset that actually suppresses the kind of creative, agile thinking you need to solve complex problems. One teaches you to absorb punishment, while the other is all about adapting to avoid it entirely. And here's the crucial point. We actually see the cost of this philosophy right there in the movies. As Lieutenant Colonel Vincent points out, all those hits Rocky took throughout his career, they led directly to a traumatic brain injury that ended his career in Rocky V. His greatest strength literally became his greatest weakness. So if just taking the hits isn't the answer, then what is? Well, the critique offers an alternative path to victory, one that's rooted in a different, but maybe just as famous, mantra. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. It's a philosophy that prioritizes cleverness and change over brute force and endurance. And here's the most surprising part of this whole thing. The best example of this isn't in a war movie. It's in another Rocky film. The argument is that the most important lesson in the entire series actually comes from Rocky III. After he gets completely demolished by the powerful Clubber Lang, Rocky realizes he can't win by just taking punches. He has to change completely. With help from his old rival, Apollo Creed, he learns to be faster, more agile, he evolves. He adapts to avoid his enemy's strengths. So you're left with these two really powerful models of resilience. On one side, you have the brawler, absorbing every single blow with pure heart. And on the other, you have the agile strategist, adapting to the challenge. One is about just enduring the storm, the other is about learning to dance in the rain. This brings us to the final round. What is the real legacy of Rocky Balboa? Is he a symbol of unwavering toughness, or is there a more complex, a more nuanced lesson hidden in his story? So we've seen two clear paths to victory. You've got the path of endurance, defined by that iconic quote, "Just take the hits, no matter what." But then there's also the path of evolution, which is the lesson from Rocky 3, changing who you are to meet the challenge that's right in front of you. You know, perhaps Rocky's true legacy isn't one or the other. Maybe it's the journey between the two. He starts as the symbol of pure, unadulterated grit, but to truly become a champion, he has to learn that sometimes grit just isn't enough. Sometimes you have to change to survive. Which leaves us with a final question for you. Life is going to hit you hard. That's pretty much a guarantee. The real question is, what are you going to do about it? Will you be the Rocky who takes the punch, or the Rocky who learns to slip it?